6th, 8th and 10th on wet. So from that top 10, first on the grid, Dries van Theur. Third on the grid, Josh Price. 5th on the grid, Conor Jupp. 7th on the grid, Ralph Aron. And 9th on the grid, Luke Knott. Have all gone for slicks. On the other side of the grid to them, 2nd on the grid, Jay Nijar has gone for wets. Jessica Batman, 4th on the grid, has gone for wets. Glenn Van Paris, 6th on the grid, wets. Oliver Myers, 8th on the grid, has gone for wets. And Michael Cool, 10th on the grid, has gone for wets.
And the very, very, very latest choice was Michael Cool shipping the proposed slicks for wets.
Oh, he changed his mind because
Probably
of what's just happened.
at what just happened.
Yeah, I bet there was a few people that went, yeah, slick tyres, slick tyres, slick tyres, and then watched that race and couldn't believe what the difference was. 8 or 9 seconds a lap from the slicks to the wets. So I have to say, if I was having watched that race just now, I would be going for the wets as well, I think. But we'll see. They didn't particularly look like they were getting much quicker, did they, at the end of that race, those guys on slicks?
No, often you find a situation where they can say, well, look, we had, in one sense, made the right call, but it kicked in too late. But it just didn't kick in 9 laps there.
So you can see the rest of the grid on screen with 11th Ever Benes, 12th Glenn Rupp, 13th Bastien Leguay, 14th Ed Tansley, 15th Konstantin Scholl, 16th Christian Loft, 17th Alessandro Trombelli, 18th is Berat Turka, 19th is Corentin Collignon, 20th Peter Griffin, Abdullah Al-Wahawi 21st, Maxim Stotland 22nd, Mark Moore is 23rd, Nicola Pico is 24th, Petra Shikokhnin is 25th and Sergei Munarev 26th on the grid.
Chris, can you tell me, I wasn't looking at the moment, is Jay Nijar in your sights? Because Jill is telling us he couldn't get his kart started, did eventually, but was very late away. So is Jay Nijar in a position to take his front row start?
Looks like him there in second, doesn't it? I think so. I think so. Wait till they come back around, but I think he's managed to get there in time. Hopefully, because he's had a bit of a shocker so far, hasn't he? So coming down the hill, we've got leading them around the pole position driver Dries van Theur. Has had a cracking weekend so far, but looking for a win still.
Attention s'il vous plaît, un pilote français, Guillaume Berthaud. Guillaume Berthaud, au bureau de sportif commissaire s'il vous plaît. Guillaume Berthaud, pilote number 635. 635, Guillaume Berthaud, au sportif commissaire maintenant s'il vous plaît. Merci.
That was Ken announcing in French. Guillaume Berthaud's got to go to race control, which doesn't sound too promising for him. He's already had one run-in with the law this weekend, hasn't he, when he was underweight in the pole position session yesterday. Okay, then. Track looks dry, doesn't it, if you look at the screen? It's not. It's greasy. It's deceived quite a few people in the previous race. And now we've got a mixed bag. More people are on wets than on slicks, but 5 of the top 10 have gone for slicks. One at the back, I think.
I don't think I've ever seen that, Chris.
No.
I really, really don't. And it just shows how much of a gamble it is.
We'll find out. They're stuck with it now anyway. They've got to go with their decision. The 9-lap race, the final last race of the day gets underway. It's a cracking start for Dries van Theur. He's going to hold it into turn 1, but coming out through turn 1, he comes under attack from Josh Price, who goes into the lead of the race out of the turn. So back down to second place goes Dries van Theur as they climb up the hill. Jess Batman looked like she made a decent start from the second row of the grid as well. Is that her in third place? It could well be. And Conor Jupp and Glenn Van Paris from the 4th row also looking to have made decent starts to the race. The top 5 have made a bit of a split here from the rest. I think Conor Jupp is 6th
and Jess Bachman going second is one on wet, so she's gone past a slick driver, slick-shod driver.
So Josh Price was on that left side of the grid. He's on slicks, isn't he? He leads the race. 2-3-6 is Jay Nijar in second place, who is on wet tyres. So it was Jay going up to second place on the wet tyres, and then we've got Oliver Myers, who's on wet tyres, running in third place as it stands as they come out of turn 11 and run down. Could be an interesting race this, in terms of if it does dry out during the course of the race, those guys on slicks in the last 2 or 3 laps might start to charge through, but at the moment 1 or 2 on that we think are on slick tyres have made a promising start to the race here, including Josh Price. Yes, he's definitely on slicks, Josh Price. It's definitely wets for the second and third place drivers and for fourth as well. Definitely on wet tyres is Luke Knott as they come under the commentary box. So Josh Price is the only one of those that are elected to go on slick tyres that's making it work for him at the moment. He's making it work brilliantly because he leads the race from Najjar, Myers, Knott. Vantour is fifth after leading very briefly at the start, and Glenn Van Paris is there in sixth place.
And Josh's quick time of 1:17.79, half a second quicker than anyone else, so just doesn't make sense, does it? That the message from that is the slick choice was right.
Dries Vanteur's on slicks as well, so he's going okay in fifth place.
He's only done a 1:21.5 though, 4 seconds slower, 0.4 seconds slower.
Well, at the moment, you'd say there's nothing between them because the race leader's not getting away from second and third, who are on wet tyres, as Oliver Myers goes for a move on the way into turn 11 and goes second. Good move from Ollie to get ahead of Jay Najjar there and up to second place. And a big gap suddenly developing because of that. I think they bogged each other down, and Josh Price romping away from them coming out of turn 11. So Josh Price, whose day didn't start particularly well, is getting much better for him now. He's had a win already. He won the second heat that he contested today. He's winning the third, and he's turning the day around. Over the line they go to start the third lap with Myers. He's for sure. Jay Najjar, sorry, isn't it? He's changed his jar. He's stuck through to the lead of the race. Myers, then Josh Price has dropped to third, trying to be second though as he climbs up the hill. So wet tyres. Price drops to third on slicks. Luke Knott then is the next one to come through. He's also on slicks, so wet tyres lead, third and fourth on slicks. Eva Ben Esluk up to fifth position as well. She's having a storming drive. Didn't see what tyres she'd got on. I think
Michael Kuhl making his late call for wets, is making his charge as per normal in seventh place at the moment, having started 10th.
Jay Najjar leads, Oliver Myers is second, and up to third. While you were saying that, we've got Luke Knott now getting ahead of Josh Price, who's slipped back quite a few places. He's lost 4 places there, and suddenly it's not working for him. So Josh Price started brilliantly, but he's going off the boil now with these slick tyres. That doesn't make sense, doesn't it? It's not got any wetter, has it?
I mean, your common sense is it must be getting a little bit drier with all the action on, but hey, there we go. We're in the south of Spain. It's a different eco-climate.
So now everybody at the front has got the wet tyres on, and bottom end of the top 10 are Josh Price and Dries Vantour with the slick tyres on. What about the others with slicks on? Connor Jupp is 13th, he went for the slicks. Ralph Aron is 15th, he went for the slicks. So actually Luke Knott went for the slick tyres, didn't he, thinking about it? Luke Knott did go for the slick tyres. So he's one driver going well on them in third place.
Luke having started on the fifth row in 9th place, showing at the moment in third, so slick shod throughout, managing to withstand this wet shod attack from round in front and at the side of him. Jay Najjar continuing to hold the advantage, and it's a big advantage from Oliver Myers. Lovely move by Oliver Myers into second place. It's the sort of move that you would watch several times over. Oh, and that looks a little bit tardy by Luke Knott, and Eva Benez able to pursue a very, very easy passage past Luke Knott. So again, whether that's anything to do with tyres, I don't think Luke Knott was in the wrong position exceptionally, although he didn't try to close the door on Eva Benez, but Eva really had sort of just pushed the nose cone through, and it was a case of she's going to come through come what may. Nice move by the lady.
Jay Najjar's off like a steam train, isn't he? He's left them all behind. Oliver Myers in second. Eva Benez coming through now in third place. You can't miss her. She's got bright yellow overalls and a bright yellow helmet. Eva Benez in the 235 kart. Luke Knott's behind her now in fourth place. He's also got a pretty bright helmet, dark suit, and largely red bodywork on the kart, but he's got a bright green and yellow helmet with a bit of red on as well. So the bright yellow of Eva Benez up to third place, Luke Knott fourth, Glenn Van Paris in fifth, Michael Kuhl going really well today, in sixth place he is, Jess Batman is seventh, Ed Tansley's just moved up to eighth, up to ninth has gone Christian Loft, up to 10th has gone Dries Vantour, and those three drivers all moved ahead of Josh Price on that previous lap, who's struggling now on the slick tyres, and he's dropped down out of the top 10 into 11th place.
Well, we won't say it anymore because you've heard us say it so much, but very, very baffling. Let's just get on with the race and say that Jay Nijar's quick time of 1:17.5 has only been remotely matched by a 1:17.6 by Michael Cool. Michael Cool running 6. And there was a 1:17.7 by Josh Price, but Josh Price's 1:17.7 was early on when he was making that advantage count in the very, very early stages of the race. We're into the second half of the race now, and Jay Nijar's lead is increased to 3.2 seconds over Oliver Myers. Eva Benes still running third in front of Luke Knott fourth and Glenn Van Paris fifth.
Lap times then, 1:18.1 for the race leader. He's gone. They can't keep up with Jay Nijar. 1:18.7 for Oliver Myers. 1:18.1 though as well for Eva Benes. So Eva Benes is as quick as the race leader. She's quicker than second. So here's the scrap to watch, second and third. Oliver Myers being reeled in here by Eva Benes, the French driver.
And an aggressive move by Eva. I don't mean in terms of trying to clatter, but the way she attacked the turn there. Very late, and also soaring away with her hands and getting visibly closer as we watch.
She's easing into the advantage of Oliver Myers through turn 11 as well. They begin the descent down towards the hairpin at turn 12. Ollie gets a good run out of the turn though, and just about has enough advantage not to come under threat from Eva into the turn, but out of the corners she's much quicker, alongside almost as they go into turn 13 now, into turn 14 the right-hander, and Eva Benes is winding this up for an attack here as they start a fresh lap. Ollie Myers just edging away as they accelerate up. It's coming out of the slower corners that Eva Benes seems to have the better setup, and that is, I think, in the middle of the lap through the hairpins is where she's going to have her best chance to get through to second place.
Well, she's certainly exploring every avenue, Chris, trying to get on the inside of Ollie Myers, going for the scissors shuffle, but that hasn't worked. Ollie Myers knows he's got to defend strongly here, but gets a good drive out of the upward climb down to the downgrade. Eva Benes still strongly on his tail, although Ollie just as much aggressively into that turn as Eva was on the previous lap, and now we really are playing cat and mouse, rather like the cycling races, and Ollie Myers saying, look, I'm not going to put my foot down, I'm just going to stop you coming past. Well, that's okay, Ollie, except that everybody else is arriving, and now you're under threat from more than just Eva. Eva does go past and into second place, and Ollie Myers' strategy there means he's also under attack now from the guys behind, but Oliver Myers answers me by going back into second place, but is about to lose second place. No, he's not, because the turn is going to come to his advantage, but Ollie Myers' strategy has concertinaed everybody up from second down to seventh, and it's now a really tight dice, Chris.
Michael Cool's in that battle as well, isn't he, the Belgian driver, just at the tail end of them. So Oliver Myers really doing well to get the position back when Eva Benes had reeled him in and fired him up. Back end of the lap, the last sector, Oliver's a bit quicker. The middle of the lap is where Eva Benes has the advantage, and coming up to the top of the hill now in turn 7 through that right-hander. From here on in, this is where she's going to start to attack in the middle of the lap. Oliver Myers is just going to have to try and sit on the line here, but Oliver driving very well indeed to hang on to this second place. Jay Nijar again looking very smooth at the front of the field. Pity he had all those troubles in the first 2 heats, but he's got plenty of time tomorrow in the pre-final to get himself a decent grid if he can get up the order for the final. Right, coming out through the left-hand hairpin at turn 10. Eva Benes right on the tail. Michael Cool right on the tail of her. Cool goes up the inside of Benes. Cool then tries to go up the inside of Myers. Myers hangs it around the outside. So it's Myers hanging on to second. Cool's gone third. Eva Benes behind in fourth place. And you'll see them running down to the hairpin. There's Myers. There with the green colours is Cool. There with the yellow outfit is Eva Benes. Has just been bumped back down to fourth place. It could change again though as they come through turns 13 and 14. They're about to start the final lap of the race. Eva Benes draws alongside Michael Cool. She's got the inside line. She's not quite got her nose in front here, but she's committed to the move. She's going for it, and she goes through into third place. Michael Cool had to concede the position. Eva just had her foot in the door, and he couldn't close it in time. But it's allowed Oliver Myers a little bit more breathing space in second position now, and he's got a couple of kart lengths back. But that's not to say that Eva can't wind him in here. I think she's still got a chance at second place.
Well, she'll go for that, won't she? And Oliver Myers will close the door down on the return home straight, and Michael Cool will have another shot at this. It's let's ignore in the kindest possible way our race leader Janie Jar and have a look how this pans out. Oh, and Ava Bennis has caught Ollie Myers napping there. No, Ollie Myers had the legs to go through.
What a race. He's got her back.
Keep
coming
going.
out of the hairpin. Ollie Myers gets a little tap from Ava Bennis. Michael Cool, he's with them as well. Second, third and fourth, absolutely nose to tail here as they come out at turn 11. Ava Bennis runs wide. Michael Cool gets in between them again. Back up to third place he goes. Jane Jar has just got 3 quarters to go here as the race leader. Second place is Ollie Myers. Third is Michael Cool. Ava Bennis is struggling to hang on to fourth place here. Glenn Van Paris is trying to get in the mix. Jess Batman is another girl up in the top 6 there, but the flag comes out. Jane Jar wins the final race of the day. Well done, Jay. Better time you had a bit of luck, or no bad luck at least. Second, great drive from Oliver Myers under intense pressure from both Michael Cool and particularly from Ava Bennis. Michael Cool gets third, Ava Bennis gets fourth. Glenn Van Paris and Jess Batman managed to round out the top 6. And as far as we know, the best place to the slick shot drivers, we reckon, was Luke Knott, who finished in 7th place, which was a good effort actually, given where everybody else on the slick tyres fell back to. The next best slick tyre driver, we think, was Dries Van Teur, without having confirmation from the grid. And then Connor Jupp, we reckon, was on slicks. He was 13th. So really, really good drive from Janie Jar, but all the action went on behind him, didn't it?
I was just going to say, Chris, we do have to say well done, Janie Jar. He's won that by 2.1 of a second. 2.1 seconds is a handsome victory, but I don't think Chris and myself need to apologise too much, because the real entertainment was the guys behind. And Oliver Myers, who lost second place 3 times and regained it, lost it to Ava Bennis, lost it to Michael Cool, but in the end Oliver Myers finishing second, Michael Cool third, Ava Bennis fourth, in what was a fabulous race. Well, Glenn Van Paris completing the top 5. Well, folks, I do hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. Please don't go away if you're online. We have got a little bit more for you this evening, but I do hope you enjoyed that race. And as I say, we have the utmost respect for Janie Jar, but on that occasion, it really was the Myers, Bennis, Cool dices that caught the eye and were particularly entertaining. But your winner, all on his own out there with nobody to dice with, Janie Jar. Well, there you've got the graphic on screen. Those of you tuned in to RGMMC TV, Oliver Myers, that excellent second place. Michael Cool, for the second time today, finishing in 3rd place. But of course, the first one was wiped off, so he will be hoping that that will stick. Ava Bennis, a really well-worked 4th place. The very minimum that she deserved was 4th place and could well have been deserving of 2nd place. Glenn Van Paris 5th, Jessica Bachmann 6th, Luke Knott 7, Christian Loft, the Dane, one of his better drives now, into 8th place. Eduardo Tansley 9th, and Peter Griffin, also of Coles Racing, making the top 10. I hadn't spotted that during the race. Peter Griffin, far less experienced at this level than most of the other drivers in the class, but making a top 10 finish in 10th place. Dries Van Teur managing to come home 11th, Corentin Collignon in 12th, Connor Jupp 13th, Nicola Pico 14th, Ralph Aron 15th, Konstantin Schurl 16th, Abdullah Al-Rawahi was 17th. Got a feeling he picked up a driving standards flag, but certainly it was only a 17th place for him. 18th was, just missed that, haven't we? We've gone to 19th now, which is Bastien Legay. Barrett Turka coming into the top 20 at number 20. A couple of Russians just outside the top 20. Peter Shakokichin in 21st, Maxim Stotland 22nd, Alessandro Trombelli 23rd, Sergei Munarev 24th, Mark Moore, the Estonian, classified 25th, but in fact went out very early in the race. In fact, Sergei Munarev actually went out only on the very last lap, late in the race, and Glenn Rupp never made a lap start. Well, do hope you've enjoyed the racing. Chris and myself